Hello, we are in chapter 6.5 and we are dividing with decimals. First thing to remember is that we actually never divide with a decimal. So we actually change the decimal into a whole number, the number that we are dividing with. We cannot divide with a decimal, and I'll show what I mean by that. So let's have an example here. Here is 42 divided by 0.8. Notice the number we are dividing with is a decimal. We cannot do this problem yet. Also realize that division can come in many forms. We could have 42 divided by 0.8. This could also come as 0.8 divided by 42. So there's three ways we could show division of 42 divided by 0.8. With this division bar, with this division bar, 42 divided by 0.8, or with this right here. Notice that the 0.8 is on the outside, the number you're dividing with is always on the outside. Okay, so let's do this. Remember that we can't divide with a decimal. So our first step will be to make this decimal into a whole number. So I'm going to slide it over to the right, 1, 0.8. If the decimal moves 1 to the right, it becomes 8. If I do that to 0.8, I need to also do that to 42. Right now the decimal is right there, and I'm going to slide it over to the right, 1, which means a 0 would end up there. So in actuality, changing it so I don't divide by a decimal, I have 420 divided by 8. I've moved the decimal of 42 over 1 to the right and 0.8 over 1 to the right as well. Whatever I do to this divider, however I move the decimal, I also have to move it over here to keep this an equivalent expression. So now I have 42 divided by 8, and the 8 goes in the outside. I have 420. My decimal comes after the 0 and carries straight up, and I need to add some zeros in case I have to bring them down. 8 doesn't go into the 4, but 8 does go into the 42 5 times. 8 times 5 is 40. Subtract. 42 minus 40 is 2. Whenever I'm done subtracting, I always bring something down. The 20. 8 goes into the 20 2 times. 8 times 2 is 16. Subtract. I'm left with 4. After I subtract, I always bring something down. 8 goes into 40 5 times. 8 times 5 is 40. And do some subtraction, and I get 0, which means I am done. So 42.0 divided by 0.8 is 52.5.